That's where I'm heading, but the route actually doesn't take a straight line here. Well, good morning on day 10. Slightly overcast, potential of sunshine, we'll see, but potential of rain as well, so we'll have to see what happens with that. Other than that, it's going to be an interesting day. Cycle track that leads from Carnarvon and does some miles if you're into cycling. Anyway, there's a marker, so I'm heading that way. One significant town on the way, and lots of trails through the fields and trackways as I move across to the coast, and then a nice run down the coast to Trefor itself. A shadow, that's a good sign. Maybe even some sunshine. This first bit is a path that runs across a number of fields. Well, I'm not sure about the hare. I think I'm more tortoised. There's some great views down towards the Llyn, as well as back towards Anglesey. The path now changes. It moves into a series of tracks that progress across a number of fields, through some farms and back to the road. I've just completed the first little loop in this walk. I'm kind of heading back towards Penygroes at this kind of moment in time, just for a few hundred yards. And I kind of wondered what the loop was, because Penygroes is still not that far away at the moment as in a straight line, or where the road or tarmac goes. But the walk does afford you some wonderful views, particularly of the destination, Anglesey, and then back over kind of yesterday. So I think the loop is nice and it's well worth it. The route now does a U-turn. It drops down a lane to a bridge which crosses the Afon Llangernyw and then starts heading in the correct direction. Sorry, didn't mean to get you up. Oh, it's Black Beauty. The trail makes its way across a whole series of fields and past a couple of farms. A map could be handy. Well, this section of the walk is a little bit troublesome. There's very few waymarks to kind of say that you're on track, and the fields are very, very overgrown. My waterproof boots, not waterproof. So I have to have a stop, dry my feet out, and see how they are. At the end of the track, you turn left onto a tarmac road which works its way through a couple of junctions. It offers a view of the next stage. Lovely kind of jagged crags up on the tops of these peaks here. The trail kind of goes across there. There's a ford down there, but it looks like there's a couple of bridges, and it kind of heads up there. Crossing the river is straightforward, and this leads you to a trail that goes up a field. Cows all inquisitive. I think they're hoping for a free feed. At the top are some great views back towards Anglesey, but onwards. The track then later improves to a lane. It's been quite good. There's been a lot of really good views, different kind of views from the last few days, but really nice, and a lot more of the sea, much closer. So I think that's going to be the theme now for the remainder of the walk. Is kind of it moves from this mountains and hills into a coastal footpath. It's kind of tarmac down into the next village, and then it kind of follows a roadway, and I'm assuming it's going to be a hard surface or a tarmac surface along that roadway as I kind of head towards Trefor. So I think that's it for the fields for now, and I think it'll be pretty much hard surfaces for the rest of the walk today. This part of the trail offers some great views back towards the Snowdonia Mountains. You also end up passing quite a few rowan trees full of fruit at this time. We're definitely getting close to the sea, and the whole of Anglesey can now be seen. Just seen the village church there, and I assume that's where I will be collecting a stamp. A last look back to Carnarvon Airfield as the trail now descends into Clynnog Vowel. The church at Clynnog Vowel is dedicated to Saint Beuno. He was a saint from the 7th century and had a monastery and a church on this site. The church was a very important stopping point for pilgrims in the medieval times, as this was one of the key locations on the pilgrimage to Bardsey Island. Hold on, that sounds like me. Could become popular again.
You can see the route covered. Many days of walking actually. And obviously the route originally was planned to go through Carnarvon, but it doesn't seem to feature anymore, and the blue alternative route is the one that's now in. I also don't know much about that little extra section there, the Clynnog Vowel, which is where I am now. Trefor is the destination for today. And that's still to go. So the little chapel sitting on the side here is actually on, or underneath it is the original Celtic church. The current church is from the 14th and early 15th centuries. There's a Holywell a couple hundred metres up the road. This had healing properties, but only if you slept on Saint Beuno's grave. The trail now makes its way down to the Carnarvon to Pwllheli Coast Road. This is quite a busy road, and today I found it was quite tedious with a lot of cars passing. Just seen a marker which I wasn't expecting. I think it just takes you up a little bit, runs you through the woods and runs you parallel to the road, so you're not actually on the road. So I'll follow it for a little more. Just into the woods. The trail leads you up and along the hillside for a while, but it doesn't really last that long and leads you back down again. It brings you back out onto the road again that I just left, and that's where I'm heading. This road section might be quite noisy and quite busy today, but there's a lovely section of hills which you're walking by on the left down the road. Well, as you can see, the sun has come out, which is fantastic. That mysterious rain never arrived. Still walking along the road here. It's kind of sections of old road followed by kind of new footpath next to the new road. So it's just a few miles of something different, something we've not really had on this walk so far. There were a couple of old disused quarries high up on the hill. The area was obviously significant for stone. Well, on the final stretch now, what were 3 distant peaks are now growing in size and significance. Finally getting to that end of that road. That's a huge set of quarries up there. I took a quick detour down to the sea, but the beach here was actually quite rocky. I've reached Trefor. That's it for day 10. Very enjoyable day. Interesting walk, a bit of variety, and a very historic Christian site and Holywell. So yeah, very, very good. A very enjoyable day. And that's where day 11 goes up. That's going to be a good start, isn't it?